For Unit 3, Part 1, Day 5 notes, we're going to graph linear inequalities. So that would be like your less than or your greater than symbols. For the definitions, it says that a linear inequality can be formed by replacing the equal sign of a linear equation with an inequality sign. And then I listed this little chart for you to help you decide, like, when you draw your line, are you using dashed lines or solid lines? And then how to shade. There's a lot more involved with this one. Also, the solution of an inequality can be an ordered pair that makes the inequality true. And we'll talk about that as we go along as well. So just for practicing the basics, like the very basics, I went ahead and graphed the correct points. So for like letter A, we know that our slope is 1/3 and that our -5 is our B, and that's where I should have began at that -5. And then I went up 1/3, up 1/3, down 1/3. So this part we should already have mastered as far as graphing the points and drawing the line. But in inequalities, we look to see what symbol we have, and we have a less than symbol. So a less than symbol says that we need to have a dashed line and we need to shade below. So what does that actually mean? So a dashed line would look like this. And then you would draw your arrows. And then it also says over here that we have to shade below that line. So if I look at this, here is where I began my graph at -5. If I go straight down, this is below the graph. Okay? Okay, now, that means that that whole part is going to be shaded. So, from this side of the line, I'm going to shade this side. Okay, so that's me shading. You could do more like that if you want, but just to show that this side of the line is the shaded area. And this shaded area means this part is your answer. So any point that I have in this section that's shaded is a solution or an answer to that inequality. It would work in the inequality if I checked it. Alright, so part B, I don't have a y-intercept here. So in this case, because I have those two letters, I know this is a +0. Okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and start at 0 and go up 2/1. So that's what I did. Then this has a greater than or equal to sign. So I go to the chart, I find greater than or equal to. It has a solid line and I have to shade above. So, solid. That's like what we normally draw, solid line. Okay, and then you have to decide which one is above. This section here or this section down here. So what you do is you put your point or your pencil on the point that you began at 0. And since it says that we have to go above, you're going to draw a little line going up on the y-axis. So that means that this side of the graph is going to be shaded, this whole part here. So I'm going to shade it. Okay, then for letter C, and let me label this real quick, M and B. Okay, for letter C, I gave you a less than symbol. I went ahead and graphed at 4 and went down 5/2. So less than. So go to the chart. This is less than. It's dashed and you shade below. So, I need to do a dashed line. Okay, to shade below, I go back to where I started, I draw a little line down. So I see that this side, all of this side, needs to be shaded. Okay, Okay, so again, what does that shaded area mean? It means that any ordered pair, anything inside of this shaded area, anything, these are all solutions to this inequality. Okay? All of these points out here, any of these points in the white space, are not answers. Only if they're shaded, they are solutions. Okay, last one for this part. For letter D, we graphed at 1, and then I went down 3, right 1. Okay, so now we have a greater than or equal to. So greater than or equal to is solid. We shade above. So this is solid. I go to where I started at 1. Above goes this direction, up, which means that this whole side is the side I shade. Okay. Again, any points that are in this area, these are solutions. Anything in the white space, not a solution, not an answer.